Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruchakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom also to the Akim pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, and to the speckled bird across the four corners of the world, and to the few sisters who are listening. To you I say Shalom. Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson. I'm the brother Khadasha from the GMS Chicago camp, coming back at you with another lesson. And what I wanted to go into in this lesson, was really Luke the 17th chapter, because as we do this work, especially as the Lord starts to increase you within your ministry, right, and He starts to really He really starts to sup with you. You really start to understand the scriptures and the prophecies and so on and so forth. When the Lord starts to sup with you and increase you, man, you have to realize that at the end of the day, we're just unprofitable servants, man. You see, we can't get puffed up, because you might get into a certain position within your camp. You might get increased to the point where, brother, you're in a leadership position. But at the end of the day, man, we have to realize that we have to have a humility of mind, especially as we put up these lessons and these videos, and as we push harder, we can't get prideful about our position within this truth, man. So first scripture I want to start off with is Luke 17:10. It says right here, you know what? I'm gonna start off at verse 7. It says Luke 17:7. But which of you, having a servant plowing or feeding cattle, will say unto him, by and by, when he is come from the field, go and sit down to meat, and will not rather say unto him, make ready wherewith I may sup, and gird thyself and serve me till I have eaten and drunken, and afterward thou shalt eat and drink? Does he thank that servant because he does the things that were commanded him? I trow not. And look, what Yahushua is basically saying is, when you have a servant, right, and he does what he's supposed to do, are you going to thank that servant? Nah, he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. So in like manner, when you're doing these lessons, and when you're, when you're doing what you're supposed to within the ministry, right? Look, man, don't get prideful about that. The Lord got you there because He wants you to be there. You bring something to the table. In some way, shape, or form, you are profitable to the ministry. You're profitable, the way that you feed the sheep, the way that you handle things within the camp. You're profitable unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But look, man, don't think for 1 second that, you're in this position because I did it, because I'm so smart, because I'm so wise, because I'm so good looking, because I'm so this, I'm so that. No, you're not. Let me just burst that bubble right now. It was the Lord that chose you, man, for His purpose. You see? Look, man, we're just doing the things that we're supposed to be doing. It says, verse 10, so likewise ye, when ye shall have done all those things which are commanded you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do. So, look, we're unprofitable servants, man. Don't get puffed up. Don't get prideful, right, about your position, man. Because at any given moment, that position could be taken away from you, man. We're doing this for edification's sake. It says do all things. It says do all things. This says right here in 1 Corinthians 14 and 26, it says, how is it then, brethren, when ye come together, every one of you has a psalm, has a doctrine, has a tongue, has a revelation, has an interpretation. Let all things be done unto edifying, right? So Hey, look, all things have to be done unto edifying, man. Whatever talent the Lord gave you, whatever the Lord has you in the ministry for, is because what? Is because you actually could bring something to the table and edify, man. You could actually, whatever the Lord gave you, whatever gift, the Lord bestowed upon you, you could use that for the building up of the, or for the edifying of the church, for the work of the ministry, for the perfecting of the saints, man. You see, the Lord didn't just give you that so you could sit on it, man. It said, let all things be done unto edifying, to basically to building up, because that's what edifying means, to build up. So when we're in this truth, look, man, whatever position the Lord puts you in is really to edify the sheep, to feed the flock, man. And we shouldn't even really be in a mindset of getting prideful anyways, man, because it says right here in Sirach, the 3rd chapter, it says, Sirach 3:17, my son, go on with thy business in meekness, so shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved. So, hey, this whole ordeal that we're part of, that the Lord has called us into, this work, look, man, it's a business, right? And we have to go about our business in meekness. We can't get prideful and start thinking that our shit don't stink, man. Nah. That's why it's very important to examine yourself, making sure that you're counting the cost, making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do, man. Because at the end of the day, look, man, we're just unprofitable servants. We're doing that which is our duty to do. All right? A lot of guys, they come into this ministry and they get into a position and they think, that, they start to find out a couple of things and they start to get puffed up. But nah, man, it talks about right here, 1 Corinthians 8:1. Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. So when a guy gets knowledge, he starts to find out what this means and what that means. And, the Lord starts to increase that guy, right? Eventually, that guy feels as though he knows everything. He don't, he's at that level. Look, man, it's actually really scary when you think about it, man. Because when you watch the apostles and elders and when you watch their lessons, hey, Apostle Gabar is always going into it, man. Apostle Gabar always says how he's always learning something new. And that's, these are men that have been doing this for 40 plus years, man. The apostles and elders have been doing this for a really long time, man. And if they're still learning, right? If they have the humility to admit that that they're still learning things, right? How much more us that have been in the truth 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, less than 10 years, less than 40 years, man. Look, man, knowledge puffs up. Guys think they got it. Look, man, you don't. You don't. That's why it's very important to stay humble and to realize, man, look, you're an unprofitable servant. The Lord called you into this thing to serve him, man, to edify his sheep, to feed the flock. Not so you could be up here, start, putting yourself on a pedestal and you want every Jake in all of Israel to worship you, man. Nah. You're in the spirit of Absalom, man. Absalom started to what? He started to steal the hearts of the men of Israel, man. You want to do that? You go ahead, man. Look what happened to Absalom, man. A lot of you guys, you're in the wrong spirit, man. It says that charity edifieth. Look, charity goes into brotherly love, agape. Real brotherly love. Look, man, you're going to use the talent that the Lord gave you to build up the brothers. To ultimately, you're going to fulfill your ministry. It says make full proof of thy ministry. Meaning you gotta finish out your mission, man. It says 2 Timothy 4:5, but watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. Meaning you gotta carry out your whole mission. Whatever the Lord set you out to do, you gotta carry it out. And you can't carry it out if you think, you're in a mindset, in a puffed up mindset. You're in a mindset, you think you got it. You're in a mindset as if you think you're on a chariot, you already made it. You start lording over brothers. You start thinking you're that nigga. No, man. Nah. You got to make full proof of that ministry. If you want to finish this, man, you're going to have to remain humble. Hey, look, man, when you read about certain men in the scriptures, men like Paul, right? Paul was a man of the Lord. Paul was a man of the Lord, and he was very, very diligent, man. He was very knowledgeable in the scriptures. Yahushua dealt with him one-on-one. He was getting revelations and breakdowns, man. He understood many, many things. But let's read the mindset that Paul was in, man. Because he said he did this with humility of mind. It also talks about how he called himself the least of the apostles, man. Let me get that as well. But this is right here, Acts 20 and 19. It says, serving the Lord with all humility of mind, and with many tears and temptations which befell me by the lying in wait of the Jews. So, as Paul was serving the Lord and, making full proof of his ministry, carrying out what the Lord called him into, right? It says that he was serving the Lord without humility of mind. It says with many tears and temptations. See, Paul was going through it, man. And despite the things that he was going through, he still taught with humility of mind. He still carried out his ministry. He still did what he had to do. And he didn't do it with a puffed up mind. He did it with humility of mind. You see? It says right here, 1 Corinthians 15 and 9, it says right here, 1 Corinthians 15 and 9, for I am the least of the apostles, that am not meet to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of God. So you could even see the humility that Apostle Paul showed, man. Think about this. This was a Pharisee of the Pharisees. He knew Latin, he knew Greek, he knew Hebrew. He was taught in the law. He was very well versed in the way of the Israelites, man. You see, he knew. Look, man, Paul was very knowledgeable, and not only that, but he was putting a lot of work, man. All the epistles that we have in the New Testament, most of them were written by Paul, man. When you really look at it, Paul was very diligent, man. But look at the mindset that he was in. He said, I am the least of the apostles. He said, I am not meet to be called an apostle, man. Think about that. That's humility right there, man. That's right there. That shows you that, look, man, if you're in a position of leadership, whatever position the Lord has exalted you to, look, man, the Lord put you there so you could. It's for the work of the ministry, for the perfecting of the saints, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach, man. He put you there to feed the flock, to build up the church, to build up the brothers, the body, man. So that ultimately, you had something to bring to the table, man. The Lord did not give you that gift so you could be, thinking you're that nigga, man. Nah, man. That's not, look, man. There's even more. There's a lot of examples, man. Yahushua being the main one. Yahushua made himself of no reputation. And that was the Son of God, man. That's who's going to come and deliver us, man. That's who's going to come and establish the nation of Israel again. And you're telling me Yahushua, the Son of God, look, man, the first begotten, the only begotten in the beginning of the creation of God, you're telling me he made himself of no reputation, man? And then you got niggas, they come into this ministry, chief, highly exalted, chief priest, king, lord, this, that, the third, and fucking captain of the, they just be having these long ass titles and then be like, God damn, how'd you even get that title, man? It be dudes, you know, they've been here for only 2-3 years. Now they're an elder. What the fuck? Look, man. Hey, man, some of these guys come in here, man, because they want to get a position, man. They want to get a position. I don't know what the fuck they're coming in here for. But look, man, a lot of guys are coming into this ministry. You know, it's like it's almost like a trend, you know. Not really coming into this, you know, for sincere reasons, man. You see? Which is, hey, look, those guys are going to get found out, man. But if you're doing this in sincerity and in truth, look, man, do not get puffed up. Do not get prideful about your position or what you're doing or whatever the Lord has exalted you to, you know. Hey, look, man, we're unprofitable servants, man. The Lord has called us into this ministry to serve him, you know, with humility of mind, with sincerity and the truth. And look, man, we can't get prideful about this. We're unprofitable servants, man. We're just doing that which is our duty to do. All right? So with that, you know, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us his truth. Shalom and Kwam Yasharallah.